Hello everyone and welcome back to the 1 hour a day Tibia project. We've made it now to week 29. We're really getting up there now with the episodes and I'm really happy with the progression we have recently. This week we're going back to making some big leaps in profit to try and build our balance back up for the future, so we'll see how that goes. This week we're starting out at level 208, 99 club fighting, 91 shielding and 6.3 kk balance. So let's see how far we can take it this week. Let's get straight into it. Day 197 and the start of the week means weekly task reroll. So this week we're looking at hopefully a 5 out of 5 for tasks, as we have gazers, fire elementals, Werehyenas, young sea serpents and dwarf flesh hunters. All of these tasks should be doable and one will require an access quest, but we'll get into that later on. So firstly we're headed to Liberty Bay Bone Lord Cave to work on these gazers first of all. A nice easy task to get crossed off for the start of the week. "20 minutes later and a small 20k profit was completing this weekly task, so that's great. We got this crossed off and let's move on to the next task as quickly as we can.
Je le savais. Je le savais très bien.
So Portal Dwarks is our next stop, another easy weekly task to work on and get completed out of the way. I'm still waiting for one of the rare drops from these monsters when on a weekly task, as we've had very good luck on this series so far, so it would be amazing to pick something up from here. This task only took us 5 minutes to complete and will leave us just shy of half a session left with 3 tasks left to go, which is a great start indeed. Then we headed to the sea serpent hunting ground to hopefully get through this young sea serpent task. This isn't a bad spot for us to hunt at the moment, not terrible experience, and should be a relatively quick task to complete for our weekly. This was really close to the 1 hour session mark when completing this weekly task, but we managed to complete it, which is great. We also got another Echo Warden whilst hunting today, which helped push the profit over 300k for the session, which is very good considering the monsters that we've been hunting weren't the most profitable. Day 198, we headed to Darashia Werehyena cave to work on our next task of Werehyenas. This is one of the hunting spots I've been enjoying exploring a little bit with some of the tasks we've been getting lately. I'll keep coming back here when they pop up, but I may start to hunt here properly when we unlock an ice weapon, which is at level 230 for us. That's when we'll be able to use the resizer. This weekly task took under 20 minutes to complete, which is good for us, and we managed to make a small profit of 45k, which is good for a spawn like this, as it's very good for experience for us at the moment. So we'll definitely come back here in the future when possible. Next, we headed to Goroma to begin working on the access. So first of all, we had the shipwreck on the island, and then I gathered the 30 wood needed by killing the trolls. This is needed to repair the ship, so we're able to come back to the island. And we also went and picked up the spell book from in front of the barrier that we will need later on. On the way to get access through the barrier, we went to the cult cave to get a black sheep corpse, and then we killed the rat and the chicken on Werehyena Island, which we need to hand in to get access fully to Goroma, which we have now, which will be good for the fire elemental weekly task that we have. So when we can, we'll head over there and get that task done. Then, for the remainder of the session, I headed to Ravenous Lava Lurkers to work on the bounty task we managed to get with the little time that we had left. I managed to make a small dent in this task for the last bit of the session. Day 199, we started out this session by heading back to Ravenous Lava Lurkers again to continue working on the bounty task and pushing some good experience. In case you haven't hunted here before, this place is very good for experience, however doesn't give any loot, so it's always a big waste. In this session, we actually managed to get another bounty task of the same Ravenous Lava Lurkers. So we got 2 tasks done in this session and then also stayed here for the full session. So it was a very good hour for experience overall, and it's always good that we managed to roll these on our bounties as it's our only preferred task. Day 200. We headed to Goroma to work on the Fire Elementals weekly task we have. This was the first day since we had access that the world event on the volcano wasn't active. So that's why we've left it this far into the week. However, I did not forget to go through this task. Around 25 minutes later, and a small profit also from the dragons that are in this spawn too, we managed to mark off the final weekly task we have left, which is going to mean we're 5 out of 5 on these. And I'll also finish up the 2000 any creature task any moment in the session. Next, we headed to Ahrix to work on the enfeebled silencer task that we got. This spawn is another spawn that's very good for us at the moment, as it gives decent experience rates and also provides very good profit, which is definitely what we need to keep pushing forward. We completed this task relatively quickly and then continued to hunt this spawn to the end of the session, as I wanted to get some more profit ahead of the next ravenous lava lurker bounty that we've picked up. So we ended this session up around 260k profit and all weekly tasks completed, which is amazing. Day 201, I headed back to ravenous lava lurkers again, as this has been a bit of a theme with this episode, but this is really good with our leveling progression. Not so great on the bank balance, but we can always work on that in the future. So we have another bounty task to get through, so let's get it done. Another task completed and another full session here at Ravenous Lava Lurkers. We managed to gain just shy of 3 KK experience in this session here, so that's really good for us going forward. We try not to look at the minus 100k balance for the supplies we went through, however, but we'll make that up. Day 202, I decided to do a bit of cleaning up of the bestiary as I headed back to the hero fortress north of Edron to get the last few heroes completed. I'll probably stay here for the whole session just to see how the experience and profit holds up now we're higher level at this spawn. So we did stay at this spot for the whole session and finally marked off another monster from the bestiary that we've been working on previously. We also managed to pick up a nice 170k profit whilst hunting here, so our levels are beginning to show now, as this spawn is somewhere where we used to struggle to make profit at previously. Day 203 and the bestiary cleanup continues as I headed to the Edron vampire crypt to finish up the last of our vampires that we needed. I initially thought we had to finish the viscounts, however normal vampires actually had less kills, so we'd need to stay until we completed those. So around 45 minutes later, and we've completed the bestiary for all of the monsters here as well, which is amazing, and we also made a nice profit. Although it's 120k in the tracker, we need to take into account all of the vampire dusts I also got here, which will sell for a pretty penny on the market. To finish up, we decided to end the week by doing some levels at the Tibia drome. So this is where I'll call it an end to the progression video, as we ended the week on level 214, 100 club fighting and 92 shielding with 5 KK balance. That was after getting all of my new imbuements. We're slowly climbing back up, not long after taking level 200, so that's great. I just want to thank you all again, so please leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe for more progress videos, and as always, take care now.